6.1, it's working. 6.1, writing linear equations. We'll see if it works the whole time now. All right, this is a very simple assignment today. Starting out the new Unit 6. A lot of this should be recall for you. Who can remember what the slope-intercept form equation is? Who remembers the slope-intercept form? Slope-intercept form. Y equals what? There's no numbers in it. All letters. Y equals? Yep. Nicely done. Mx plus b. That is your slope-intercept form. Another name for slope is rate of change. Which one of these variables stands for the rate of change or the slope? Same thing. Which letter is the slope?
Y.
The M. Whatever's with the x, that number, that is always your slope, your rate of change. So whatever number is with your x is your slope. An increasing slope, a positive slope, goes that way. A decreasing slope goes that way. Now, which one of these letters is your y-intercept? Which one of these is your y-intercept, where it crosses the y-axis? Which one of those variables represents the y-intercept, where it'll go across the y-axis? Say it louder.
B.
The B. That is your y-intercept. So that is where it will cut the y-axis in half. That's where it goes through the y-axis. Constraints, we talk about that in the real world, where we only use quadrant 1, and we might have a graph that goes like this. Right? This is your y-axis. This is x. Start at 0, 1, 2, 3, that sort of thing. Maybe go by tens here. We'll do a couple of those at the end of the notes. Example 1. Write an equation that represents each situation. Write the equation in slope-intercept form. So the first thing I need to do if I'm writing it in slope-intercept form, if I don't have y equals, it's not in slope-intercept form. So y equals, I'm just going to do that now because I know they're all in slope-intercept form. Nothing for now. Now in letter A, they doesn't get much easier than this today. They're telling me the M, the slope, is a -5. The B, the y-intercept, is 3. So how do I write that? Y equals what? Everybody together. Y equals?
-5x
plus 3. -5x plus 3. Because remember, we're working with y equals mx plus b. Now what goes into my slope for b? The slope m is what? 1/2, so I write y equals 1/2 x. Don't forget your x. And then the b is 0, so do I go plus 0? No. We do not. You don't write plus 0 just like we don't write 0x. Now, I automatically know by looking at that, since there's no plus b here, we don't have a y-intercept. That doesn't mean we don't have a y-intercept. We just know the intercept is always what? 0. So we always know that this equation goes through the what? It does go through the y-axis, but where? I heard it. Goes through the origin. Goes through 0, 0. Alright, C. The slope m is 2. The y-intercept is a -9. Out loud, y equals?
2x minus 9.
Good, 2x minus 9. We don't go 2x plus a -9 because that's multiplying anyway. What's a positive times a negative? Negative. So it's 2x minus 9. How about D? They want the slope is 0. The y-intercept is 6. How do I write that?
1 equals 6.
Nice. Because we don't write y equals 0x. We don't write ox. And the y-intercept is a +6 or just a 6. Now under this I want you to do a little diagram, just draw yourself a little picture of what that would look like if we were to graph it. So draw your coordinate plane, and let's guess the 6 about right there. This is your y-axis, this is your x-axis. Which way do I draw that line now? If y equals 6, do I draw vertical or horizontal?
Horizontal.
Right, y. The y, we cut the y in half right here at the 6. That's what that line would look like. Because what kind of a slope does that have? Y equals, we didn't write it, we don't write 0x. So what kind of a slope does this have? 0. A 0 slope. Okay. What is it if we have a, like this, and say I have the 6 on the x-axis and I do this? What would that equation be? Please write this on your notes as well. Who remembers what the equation would be for this if this is at the 6? It is. This one is a vertical line. This one is x equals 6. What kind of slope does this one have?
Undefined.
Perfect. Nice memory. This has an undefined slope. Because there's no y equals. It never goes through the y, so it can't be y equals anything. Let's try this one, letter A. Write an equation that represents the situation in y or slope-intercept form. So y equals. What does y equal? What do they want us? There's a couple little rules they want us to follow here. The rate of change increases slower than a 4x. So it still has to be an increase, all right? It still has to be going this way. So we know this can't be a what kind of a number? Can't be a negative number. It still increases, but it's slower than a 4x. What's slower than a 4x, but still we don't make it negative? We could use anything that's less than 4, but greater than, let's do that. So what, our answers could vary. Yours could be different from your neighbor to neighbor. With our x, we could put 1/2, 3/4, 7/8, 3, 3.5, 2, 2.5. Okay, I'll just pick 2. Y equals 2x. Am I done? Nope, they have another rule they want us to follow here. So they said that it increases slower than that 4x, so we did that, we went 2x, but then it says, and the y-intercept is the same as the one in this equation. So what's my y-intercept? Can it be anything other? Not in that case. We should all have the same one of a +1. The only thing that could have been different from your neighbors is this 2. Could be anything 0 or greater, or it can't be 0, wouldn't go anywhere. Anything greater than 0 and less than 4. All right, let's try this one. Y equals. What's the rule? They're telling us the y-intercept is a 0. So that means it would be a +0. Y-intercept is a 0. It's going through the origin. And the rate of change decreases. What does decrease mean? It means it goes down, and we represent that as how? Negative. At a rate of a negative 2/3. There is my equation done. I need to have an x in there. Very good. How about now? Is it perfect? No, we know it goes through the origin, but what makes this equation perfect? Y equals what? Negative 2/3 x, and that's it. We don't need this. We know it goes through the origin. We don't put +0. We write it like that. All right, letter C. I'm going to start out, y equals, what's the rule? The slope is positive, the y-intercept is negative. We can have a gazillion different answers for this one. Just throw out 3 examples. Who wants to pick one? How 10 win? What's one example?
Y equals 1x
Perfect.
minus 2.
That works. It has a positive slope and a negative y-intercept. Another one. Perfect. Another one. Y equals. Perfect. That all works. We can have all gobs and gobs of examples on that one. As long as the slope is positive and your y-intercepts were negative, your answer would have been right. All right, D. The rate is the same. The rate, what is the rate again? The rate is our, what is the rate of change is also known as our slope. What's our slope in here? Our slope is just a -2. So the rate is the same as that equation, but the y-intercept is negative. So what do I need to do? So we want a -2x, then what? And the intercept is negative, so -7. Done, right?
No.
Good answer. No. Why not? You need y equals. Very good. What do you think here? Y equals. This one is kind of fun. I like to draw it out. When in doubt, draw it out. Y-axis, your x-axis. The rate of change decreases faster than y equals a negative, this is the same as a -1x plus 6. And the y-intercept is a 4. Well, we know what this is going to be. What's the end part going to be? It's going to be a +4 at the end. But we need something that decreases faster than a -1. Well, say we're at the 4. The y-intercept is a 4, so that's where we're at. If we went what they did, a -1, that would be like right 1, down 1. Right 1, down 1. Right 1, down 1. Kind of would go in that pattern, left 1, up 1. Right? Everybody see where I'm getting at? We need it to be what? To decrease faster. Do we want our line to go more straight up and down or more flat? More straight up and down. What would make our line go straight up and down more so than that? On a -3? Let's try a -3. If I start here, what would I have to do? Run to the, because it's a -3/1, run to the right once and down. Right once, down 3, left 1, up 3. Does that decrease faster? Yeah, definitely. So basically anything that's smaller is a good word than a -3. Okay? It's backwards, so it's not, could we use 0? Could we use a -1/2? No. It has to be smaller than the -3. So let's pick the -3x. That's what you picked. And F, the slope, well, y equals. The slope and the y-intercept are the same value. Just one answer here or lots?
Lots.
Lots. Give me an example.
7x + 7.
Perfect. 7x plus 7. Give me another one.
2x plus 2. Oh, y equals.
Nice. Y equals 2x plus 2. How about this one? Y equals a -x plus 1.
No.
That?
Oh, no.
No, because why? We have a -1 and a +1. Well, if we make that a positive, then it's good. All right, now let's apply these constraints that we were talking when you use just part of the coordinate plane, that quadrant 1. Because if you think of this, you have a friend that has $175 in their bank account. They decide they want to spend $10 $10 on a movie every Saturday. X represents the number of weeks. Y is the total money in the account. So here's your Y. Here's your x-axis. Okay, we just don't put the rest of the coordinate plane on there. They want X to be the number of weeks. So this would be what? Start out at 0 weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And what is our money? What do you want to go by? Because it goes up to 175? 25s would be a good one. 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, 175. So we'd start here. The first week, before we went to 0 movies, we had what? $175 in our account. What is that then? That 175, is that our slope, our rate of change? Or is that our y-intercept?
Y-intercept.
Y equals the total money in our account. So the y, the b, the y-intercept is what? 175. What did it change every week?
$10.
$10. Did it add $10 to our account or take it away? So what is my slope? A negative 10. So our equation, y equals, what's my rate of change? A negative 10x, because that's how many weeks. We're gonna minus $10 for every week, plus 175, that's where we started. So let's solve that. What if I said after 7 weeks for this x, what if I put in for x 7? How much money will your friend have in their account after 7 weeks? Y would equal, well, what's a negative 10 times 7? What's negative 70 plus 175? 170. So after 7 weeks of going to a movie, your friend would have $170 left?
No.
How much? Not 170, what is it? What's a negative 70 plus 175?
105.
There we go. Would have $105 left in their account. After going to the movie, how many weeks? How many weeks did we go? 7 weeks. You'd have $105 left. All right, let's try the next one. Hopefully this doesn't happen to your basketball game today and you only have 5 points after the first quarter. Well, you guys don't do quarters, but halfway through your first half, you have more than 5 points today. All right? Your basketball team only has 5 points at the end of the first quarter. The entire team turns into a scoring machine and scores 25 points per quarter for the rest of the game. X is going to be the number of quarters. Y is the total number of points. What did we start with then? What's the total number of points we started with?
5.
5. At the end of the first quarter, we had 5 points. And then X is going to be our number of quarters. But what is our rate of change? After 5 points, what did it change every quarter? The constant rate of change was 25. What were the points that we started with after quarter 1?
5.
So what is my equation going to be? 25x plus 5. Now saying there's 4 quarters in a game, but we already started out with this. All right? What will it be after 3 quarters? 3 more quarters, what will it be? Put a 3 in there for the x. Y equals, what's 25 times 3? So what's 75 plus 5? What would your score be after 3 more quarters? At the end of the game, you would be 80 points. You guys score 80 points today in your game and we won't have any homework tomorrow. All right, your homework is in the new packet, pages 1 and 2. I'm going to hand out the new packet. Oh, we forgot to fill in the constraint parts on these, I believe. Let me look at this. Looking over here, do you guys have the constraints added onto your?
Yeah.
Okay. So the constraints on this would be, what would the constraints be? Because we just talked about this. How many quarters in for the x? Number of quarters. What would our constraints be? We could only, what would make sense?
4.
We could only use 0. Okay, if you don't play any more quarters, what would your score be? 5. What if you only played one more quarter? 30. What if you played, can we play 2 more quarters?
55.
Yep. Can we play 3 more quarters? We know we can, we did that. Can we play 4 more quarters? No, because there's a total of 4 in the game. So that's the constraints there. We can only do 0, 1, 2, and 3. What would the y be? Total points. So the total points can only be, what did we start with? 5. What was the most that we figured out? 80. So your constraints could be anywhere from 5 to 80. All right, it would have to be greater than or equal to 5 or less than or equal to 80. There you go. I'll hand out your packet, pages 1 and 2 tomorrow.